so beautiful. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
To be in these places at the time that. So yeah, I'm in the right place at the right time.
Hear what happened now? I told you the Jamaican accent was going to come out. I'd love to be able to name all the bands, and I can't. But I know I'm going to miss.
You've been called selfless, you've been called kind, loving, all kinds of stuff. We know you're passionate about. Talk about your little 10-month-old son.
Yeah.
Talk about that, your pride and joy, of course.
I love my son. His name is Jawari, and he was born on Christmas Day. He's one.
Welcome to PEP Talk. My name is Rosie Peppy Parke, and I'm so delighted to be joined by my guest, who is all the way from Jamaica. His name is Oji Jaja, and he is a culinary artist, not to be confused with a chef. Jaja?
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure for me, and it's easier for me to call you Jaja, because that just rolls off the tongue.
Well, all right.
Oji.
Oji. Yeah, Oji is good.
So, first of all, what is the difference between a chef and a culinary artist?
Wow. Probably want to say that I put a lot of heart in what I do.
Mm-hmm.
My tagline says, where love, passion, and skill work together to create a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's what would set me apart.
So you're just not a chef, you're someone who uses art, you put your heart into it, and love, passion, and skill work together to create a masterpiece.
Yeah, you know, food is art in itself, though, you know. I mean, you find that a lot of some chefs, it's really very linear for them. For me, it's always a creative process from start to finish. Yeah.
So, Oji, tell me about this love affair that you have with food. When did that begin?
Boy, I started cooking when I was about 8. I'm not lying. My father used to be in the kitchen all the time, and I would end up going in there, and he would ask me to help him cut this or take out that out of the fridge and that kind of stuff. But I really started cooking like at about 12, because I was what some people would want to consider a bad child. You know, I was always out on the road and stuff, so I'd come back in late, and nobody was going to cook anything for me, you know, and no food never leaving out the kitchen, so go in and rustle up something for yourself. But yeah.
So when did you realize that you could really, really, really cook?
As in, like, when I really, really didn't know, say, yeah, I can do a thing?
Yeah, man.
Probably not long ago, you know, probably about, maybe about 8 years ago.
That's kind of long. It depends who you're asking. About 8 years ago?
Yeah, man.
And so, what did you do did you do formal training?
Yeah, I did definitely get formal training. Actually started that training at the Runaway Bay Heart Academy. And then I left there and started working. And then it was Johnson & Wales University in Miami. But my serious training came from the 6 years that I spent at the Ritz-Carlton, both in Jamaica and in Florida.
So what are some of the dishes that you created that made you realize that this is something that I want to go on and do on my own?
It wasn't so much dishes that I created, but just the amount of energy that I used to put into another company. I realized that if I put that energy into my own thing, that I wouldn't have any other option but to be successful at what I do.
So you were actually working at the Ritz-Carlton and not so much learning to cook because you had already got formal training, correct?
No, you know, because you learn to cook and you learn different techniques on the job. Nobody can teach you how to cook, by the way.
Okay.
That comes from within.
Right.
But you learn to refine your techniques, and it's definitely an experience. Being up for 18 hours, just pushing through, yeah.
So, what are some of the cuisines that you like to cook?
Modern Caribbean cuisine, I would say, is my thing. It's not when you take a oxtail and some yellow yam, and you can make it look like it's It's out of a magazine. Yeah, that's what I do.
How do you do that?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
So
man.
you take regular food that doesn't always look so attractive and you sexy it up. You
Yeah,
make
man.
it look artistic.
Absolutely.
There's a culinary
Yes.
artist.
Yes.
All right, so I know you have a lot of accolades right here. I saw that you were nominated for the coveted 2010 Chef of the Year Award. Tell me about that.
Well, Jamaica Observer has food awards every year, and I think last year was the 10th one, and I guess just being on the scene doing what I do, I've gained some amount of recognition, and so was then nominated by a panel of my peers, I guess. So
How did you feel?
It was an accomplishment because it's the first time I'm being nominated since I got back to Jamaica, and so it's definitely a feeling of accomplishment.
Okay, and so the company that you have, I'm not going to butcher the name. Tell me about this company that you formed and when you formed it and what it's all about.
Ashebre. Ashebre is also my middle name, and it means the artist. I'd say it was formed in 2004 when I decided that I was going to start putting some energy in myself. And then I left the Ritz-Carlton in 2006 to start the company, or really promote it at that point.
Ashebre.
Ashebre,
And so you have a middle name that means
the artist.
the artist.
Yes.
So you obviously got this name when you were a tot, when you weren't
Yeah,
even
man.
aware
About
that
3
you
months.
were
Yeah.
going to be an artist.
Yep.
How did you feel about that? When you realized what it meant and knowing that you like to cook, and then now you've coined the term that you're a culinary artist.
But it's energy, you know. It's just energy. I guess my parents, they knew, you know, without knowing, they knew, and I couldn't have been anything else. You know, I'm following my passion, and they wanted me to become a doctor, pilot, engineer, but none of those things really appealed to me at the time. So here I am cooking.
And so I know you have siblings.
Yeah.
Do they also cook? Are they?
Yeah, my sisters can cook. They
can
can.
cook.
Apart from one of them who don't like the kitchen at all. But she can still do her thing. She can still do her thing. Yeah, man.
Right. And none of them are culinary artists.
No. I have a brother who he does some amount of catering in Jamaica as well. But no, nobody else really doing what I'm doing right now.
Okay, so and then the company Ashebre, what is it that you do? Do you do catering? What kind of services that you provide?
Special events, restaurant consulting. We do what else? Food styling.
One-on-one culinary classes,
Absolutely.
hospitality and customer service training.
Yes.
And it says here that your catering service focuses on healthy lifestyles, gourmet cuisine, menu planning, and culinary seminars.
Yes.
Talk about that.
I believe that food is medicine as well. You know, so whatever you put in is what you're gonna get out. I think a lot of illnesses these days are associated with diet, and so part of the mission is really to help people to eat healthier, while not. The misconception often is that for you to eat healthy, you have to eat food that don't have no taste.
Exactly.
I mean, no. So I'm showing you how you can do this now without having to sacrifice anything.
Okay. And so tell me, what is your absolute favorite meal to cook?
I don't know. My absolute favorite meal to eat though would be ackee and saltfish, rice and peas with some fried plantain and a nice piece of pear. Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of your specialties, like dishes that you've made that people say, yo, Oji, that one you sell to the off? Like, I mean, you're an artist, so most of them are like that, but there has to be some favorites.
Well, I hear about like the red pea soup, and I'll hear about like the sauces, like a pineapple curry cream sauce that I do. Salmon that I did last night, that I heard was like off the chain, but I never tasted it, so I really don't know.
Wow.
But yeah.
Talk about that. You cook, because I do that sometimes, you know, like I cook food. Sometimes you just know how to cook certain things, and you don't taste it, but people say it tastes good.
Boy, I tell people this sometimes, and them say, you know, it's like you're crazy or something, but I taste things in my mind before I put it out on a plate. So even in seasoning, I mean, you know what it's going to taste like. You know when you add this herb with that, you're going to get a certain result. So, yeah, man.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break right here. And when we come back, apart from cooking for me, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the dishes that Oji has made and where he sees himself going forward in and outside of the kitchen. Stick with us. We'll be right back. And we're back, and our guest again, if you missed it, is Oji Jaja. He is a culinary artist from Jamaica, and he came into the DC area to make some dishes for the Caribbean American Heritage Awards. How did you get that gig?
Wow, you know people who know people who know people. No, I want to call her my god aunt. Dr. Claire Nelson is president of ICS. And so she invited me up. I did the menu for them 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
So this year she's asked me to come and actually execute it as well.
Execute it, I like that. Well, I don't know. So did you execute all courses or
Absolutely.
just the main course?
No, my everything.
Really? So you worked with a team here, of course.
Absolutely. I got the team at the JW Marriott, their entire banquet team and their pastry shop too.
That's a big resume item, you know.
Well,
that's going to take it to some more levels.
Absolutely.
Not that you need to be taken to any more levels, because I'm looking at his brochure and I'm telling you, this is one of the best promotional pieces I've seen. I was telling him this is very, 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 very well done. His website is kicking. And I like the way he has on the back some of his cooking escapades, as we like to call it. And of course, the photo that jumps out at me, and the one that might jump out at you too if you see it, is a photo of him and the master actor himself, Mr. Tom Cruise. Now, at first I was looking to see if this was photoshopped in, and I can tell you, it's real. so, Oji,
yes,
you're shaking off Tom Cruise's hand right here. He's actually looking at the camera like he's more elated to be in the picture with you than you are with him. You look at ease. Tell me about this whole Tom Cruise thing.
Boy, I got a call sometime in December of last year saying that GJAM needed a consultant to come down and help them to revamp their food and beverage process. So I went down. It just so happened that Tom Cruise was coming in at the end of January. He was going to spend 2 weeks. So I had started with them in January, the beginning of January, and I stuck with them for about 3 months. He was shooting, which movie was that? Night and Day.
Night and Day.
And he had his wife with him and young daughter. and so I was their personal chef for 2 weeks. It was quite an experience. Yes.
You gotta tell me a little bit more about that. You're cooking for Tom Cruise. Were you intimidated? How did you feel being in his presence?
It was very exciting. It was not intimidating. He had a lot of people that were handling him as well. So really there was not much interaction.
Oh, okay.
You know, there was the most interaction that we actually had directly was probably a couple of nights when he had dinner, and I would actually cook and serve him,
okay.
and Katie at the same time. So it was just one of those times when I was actually able to showcase a lot of me in my food, you know, because I mean they really allowed you the flexibility to be creative, and so it was more exciting than it was.
So did you stick around to ensure that they enjoyed your meal? I mean, as a chef.
Of course, yes, man. And you go back and add, yeah, man, yes, man.
Everything clean up.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I mean, he had it to say that I mean the ceviche was the best that he's ever had in his travels. I mean that really did a lot for me in terms of not the fact that he was the one that said it, but the fact that he's so well traveled, you know, and he's probably been to so many wonderful restaurants. I mean, for him to give me that, then I mean, yeah, it truly did.
And I know that some of your clients include Prime Minister Bruce Golden, the former Governor General Sir Howard Cook. We talk about Tom and Katie Holmes, Amy Winehouse, and Drake.
Yeah.
I mean, what is this? A matter of just being in the right place at the right time, or being the best culinary artist on the block?
I want to say it's just life, and I'm just destined to be in these places at the time that. So yeah, I'm in the right place at the right time.
And obviously you have a good marketing and PR team, because your website, I say, is kicking.
Thank you.
And this brochure is just awesome. So I can't wait to taste my special meal that's going to be made for me.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
And I know you're coming with all the ingredients and everything is all sorted out, and you're going to start doing the cooking, and we're going to have the camera in the kitchen while you prepare. What you cooking for me?
I don't know yet. I'm going to give a piece of salmon.
Right.
I still figuring out what I'm going to give you as an accompaniment, but I hope you like it.
Okay. And I'm sure it's going to be mouth-watering, and you'll get to see some of the preparation that goes into his wonderful dishes that are artistically represented. So I want you to stick with us, but if they need to reach out to you, how can they contact you?
Well, on my website, www.ashebre.com, or cuisine@ashebre.com, you can email me. There are telephone numbers which are local and international.
And so are you based in Jamaica?
Yes, definitely based in Jamaica. I do work internationally, but...
So if someone is having an event in wherever, they pretty much get with you, tell you their catering budget, or you have standard pricing for whatever they want. How does that work?
Well, give me a call or shoot me an email, and we will customize the menu for you. And in customizing that menu, I mean, yeah, it's going to be within a certain budget, so we'll just work out the details, but I'll be wherever you need me to be.
And we see that, we know that you work with some higher end clients. What about the clients who are not so up there and them want some good food from a culinary artist who cooks where love, passion, and skill work together to create a masterpiece? What about affordability?
Oh, definitely. No, I mean, I can work on a budget. I can definitely work on a budget. You just need to tell me what you want, and then we can work with it. Within reason, of course.
Within reason. Well, there you have it. I'm so delighted again to have Oji Jaja passing through while he's in the area. I heard he was a hit last night, and so was his food. I mean, I'm still talking about the salmon.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard about the salmon and I wasn't there. And that is why I'm looking forward to my salmon that you're going to cook for me, since I didn't get some of that salmon that everyone ate last night.
For sure.
So you can do something special for me?
Of course.
So I can also talk about the salmon?
But of course.
Excellent. So again, thank you so much for being on the show.
It was a pleasure.
When I come to Jamaica, I'm going to seek you out.
I'm looking forward
Because
to
I
it.
want some Tom Cruise treatment. Except I don't have the Tom Cruise budget.
Listen, you get special treatment.
Right on. There you have it again. My name is Rosie Peppy Parke, and you were watching Pep Talk. Stay tuned. We'll be back another time. Thank you for watching.
You don't try to move the fish until it tells you that it wants to be moved.
Wow.
Where
So
you-
how does the fish tell you that it wants to be
If you
moved?
look around the edges, you'll realize that it will start to brown.
Wow.
And you'll see the brown come up on the edge.
On
And
the
then
edges.
at that point, you know that you have really nice caramelization going on. And so it will easily move from the base of the pan.
Wow. So the meal is finally over. It looks so delicious. So tell us again, what is this that you made?
So it's pan-seared salmon with cucumber, avocado, and mango salad, topped with alfalfa sprouts and some sliced tomatoes.
Yes. And we were talking about like what wine would accompany this meal. And what did you say? What would you suggest?
Well, I suggest a Riesling, a really nice Riesling.
And so we do have some Riesling right here that will add a little extra kick
Absolutely.
to this dinner. That
It's
is
going to
been-
complement it perfectly.
Seriously, I've been waiting for this meal to be prepared for 30 minutes.
I'm gonna give some
Oh my God, he's going to actually share my food. Can't wait.
Right.
You know, I already tasted the salad and I'm telling you, it's amazing. If there's any left over after this, you know what? It's gonna be doggy bag for my lunch for the week, but I don't think so because this is very, very nutritious. It's not a lot of food. You have your proteins, you have your veggies.
Exactly.
No whole heap of starch thing, but this is absolutely great. And I'm going to eat all of this. Maybe not all of it on camera, but.
Right. So, here you go.
Thank you, Oji.
My pleasure.
Oh, wow. So, oh my God.
How's that fish cooked?
Okay, my mother told me not to talk with food in my mouth. But I'm telling you,